Okay, this is the original penny press right here. This has the original cam on it with the lever action. First thing we're going to do is take the chute and an entire assembly off at the penny press part of itself. Take it off now. And this is just using an 1/8 inch hex head Allen wrench. So after this comes off, the important thing is to not move the original cam mechanism over here. This right here stays exactly fixed where it's at, and we don't do anything with that. After the penny chute is off, we're going to take the chute part of it off, just the very, very top part, and just set that aside after we get that off. Okay, now we're back. We've got the penny press stripped on the top. We have not moved the cam that's attached to the sprocket. Next thing we're going to do is put on the new horizontal sprocket, which is going to look like that. It's going to have the C on it, and you may need to finagle it a little bit. These are also what comes in the kit there. We've got two socket head cap screws with a connection bolt in the middle. So this takes a little bit of finagling, but just get the cam put in on top of the old cam. Just like that there. Okay, so after you get it aligned, you're going to turn it around so you have access to the existing holes right there. The important thing, though, is that once you get it into a position that you can get the bolts in, that the new cam lobes are going to line up exactly with the old cam lobes. And you may need to continue to turn this and play with it as long as you need to get it all into position. Okay, now we've got the one bolt in right there with the connection nut. So now we're going to advance it just to make it a little bit easier to get the next bolt in, and just wherever it's comfortable doing that. Get it kind of snug right now. It doesn't have to be tight or anything. Okay, the important thing now is that we will line up the cam lobe right there, the existing cam lobe in the original position, to the new horizontal lobe, which is right above it. So we'll try to get that as close as possible, and then push the cam totally up against the sprocket as tight as it can go. And just make sure it's level and tight against the entire sprocket right there. And you can move it around just to make it easier to get the wrench into it. And just make sure everything's all nice and parallel is the most important thing. As you see, there's no gap a significant gap anywhere between the cam and the sprocket. After that, still holding it tightly against there, we'll continue to tighten down the clamp to get it totally snug around the camshaft itself, around the sprocket. And just keep rotating it around to make sure that it's tight all the way across, and this looks nice and tight. Then go grab the other bolt just to make sure that it's good and tight. And it can get pretty snug there. It doesn't, probably not going to break anything, so okay, that's looking pretty good there. See, everything is within a 64th of an inch off of the sprocket there. Okay. So after that now, we're going to take the top assembly that was put in the kit, which is the new penny release mechanism. As you see, it's going to look just like that. Okay. And we're going to put that on top of the old penny press right there. There's 2 bolts with this here. And we found that for most of the machines we've done to date, you want to pull it totally towards the back side of the press, but that may need a little bit of adjustment. So as you see, we're pulling it totally towards the back, and that's a good starting point. Okay, just a few more steps to go here. Okay, the next thing we're going to do is make sure that the roller is just barely engaging on the flat plate when we turn it around. So what we're going to do is loosen the pin adjustment. Great. And then just you move that back and forth so it can be adjusted a little bit. Now we're going to bring the cam around, and we're going to make it so it's one that is perfectly perpendicular to the cam lobe, but it's just barely touching right now. As you can see right now that it's just going to be coming in contact with the lobe as it comes around. So that looks pretty good right there. Now we're going to just snug it up a little bit. We may need some more adjustment on this, but okay. And so now we just keep rotating. Just make sure that that's the exact motion we want right there. So after it comes off of the lobe, it is actually, just in the air. So it's just coming up right to the lobe, so it's engaging right there, and that's exactly perfect. So, and if you need to adjust that a little bit, that's no problem at all. So now we probably do want to test it with a coin. So we'll put the front cover onto it. And so the front cover's on right now. Okay, we're back now. We're going to drop in the penny here and just see how we're doing. Okay, so as you see down there, we are captured in the slot there. Now we're going to rotate it. And you'll see right when the cam lobe is coming around, it drops in perfect right there. And we'll just check the quality of the coin coming out. That looks pretty good. As you see, if we need to adjust it a little bit advanced or a little bit retarded, we may need to do that with the timing. But in general, keeping it lined up exactly with the old cam has worked very effectively in the machines that we've done so far. Okay, just 2 last steps to go. Now that this is adjusted, we should go in and make sure that this hardware right here is very tight. Just really don't be shy with it, and just make sure that these are never ever going to move again. So we're just re-snugging those down to make sure that's good. And now we're going to put just double check, make sure everything's tight, so you don't have to do this ever again. And now we're going to put the back cover on. Okay, that cover goes on like that. I'm going to put the hardware on the back, and then we'll do the top. Okay, for the last step, we've just put the original coin chute back in, tightened down the bolts at the cover interface, and that's good. I would test it out, a few times, make sure everything is working and timing exactly correct, but that's all it takes.